You feel like you're at the end, like everything's falling apart, and maybe right now it is. Maybe you've lost something that mattered, someone you trusted, a dream you believed in, the version of yourself that once felt whole. It's okay to admit that. You don't need to pretend you're strong when you're not. But listen to me. Being broken does not mean you're finished. It just means you've been shaken hard enough to begin again, differently, stronger, clearer, wiser. See, when life tears you down, it's not always cruelty, it can be preparation. When the world seems like it's pushing you into the ground, it might actually be planting you. You're not buried, you're being prepared to grow into something new, something more powerful than what you were before. Most people run from pain. They numb it, hide it, deny it, but I want you to do something different. I want you to sit with it, feel it, because when you sit in that darkness long enough, you'll realize something. You're still breathing. You're still here. And if you're still here, then there's still more left for you to do. There's still a path forward. When I was broken, there were days I couldn't even see past the next hour. Everything felt like it had collapsed. But what I didn't realize back then was that my breakdown was actually my breakthrough in disguise. The defeat I felt wasn't the end of my story. It was the beginning of a better chapter I hadn't even imagined yet. And you're in that moment now. The hardest part, the storm. But storms clear the air. They shake loose what doesn't serve you anymore. They leave behind raw ground where new things can grow. I want you to ask yourself this. What if this moment is building you? What if everything that's being taken from you is only clearing space for something bigger? Something you can't even picture yet, because it's too powerful to fit into your old way of thinking. That's what pain does. It expands your limits. It rewires your mindset. It teaches you who you really are without all the masks and expectations. And I know you might not believe this right now, but one day you look back and realize this pain wasn't just necessary, it was sacred. It woke you up. It pulled you out of comfort, out of routine, out of who you thought you had to be. And it started shaping who you actually are. The version of you that doesn't settle, that doesn't beg for approval, that doesn't collapse under pressure, but instead rises through it. That version is inside you right now. And it's being born through the breaking. So no, being broken doesn't mean you're weak. It means you've been handed the rarest chance life gives to start again. But this time from truth, this time from depth. And that version of you, the one that rises from the ashes, that's the one the world needs. You're not finished, you're just getting started. Pain changes you. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't wait until you're ready. It just shows up, sometimes all at once, sometimes quietly over time, and before you know it, the life you thought you understood doesn't feel familiar anymore. But here's what I've learned. Pain can either destroy you or it can define you. You get to decide what you do with it. That choice is always yours. When you're in the middle of it, I know it feels like pain is trying to break you apart. But what if it's actually trying to rebuild you? What if the suffering you're going through right now isn't meant to end you, but to mold you? I know it doesn't feel like it in the moment. It feels unfair. It feels heavy. But sometimes the weight is there to make you stronger. When I was at my lowest, it wasn't the victories that changed me. It was the pain, the silence, the days when no one believed in me, the nights when I questioned everything. That's where the real transformation began. Not when I was standing tall, but when I was on my knees. And that pain didn't go away quickly. It stuck around. It challenged me. It asked me who I really was underneath the image, the ego, the expectation. And I had to answer. You're going through something now. I can feel it. And if you're listening to this, it's probably because a part of you is tired of pretending it doesn't hurt. Let it hurt. You don't have to run from it. You don't have to bury it. You just have to let it pass through you. Because pain is a teacher that shows up with tough lessons. But it also brings clarity. It strips away the noise. It shows you what matters, who matters, and more importantly, who you are. I've come to see pain not as punishment, but as refinement. Fire doesn't destroy gold, it purifies it. And that's what pain is doing for you right now. It's burning off everything that was holding you back. Every fear, every doubt, every weakness. You may feel like you're losing parts of yourself, but maybe those were the parts that weren't meant to stay. You see, resilience isn't built when life is easy. It's built when life is hard and you keep showing up anyway, and you're doing that. You're here, you're still trying, even with the weight of everything pressing down on you. That says more about your strength than any success ever could. So no, I won't tell you that pain is beautiful. I won't romanticize it. But I will tell you that pain has a purpose. And if you face it, if you let it shape you instead of shatter you, you'll come out the other side unrecognizable in the best way possible. Let it build you. When everything around you feels like it's falling apart, when the pain feels too loud, when you're lost in the dark, there's one thing that can pull you through. Purpose, not motivation, not positivity, not even hope sometimes, but purpose, a reason to keep moving no matter what. And if you don't have one right now, then that's where your journey begins. Purpose is what keeps you alive when everything else tells you to quit. It's what gets you up when you've got nothing left. When you're broken, purpose becomes your anchor. It grounds you when the storm tries to drag you away. Without it, the pain feels random. The struggle feels cruel. But when you have a reason, a mission, even the hardest days become part of a bigger picture. They become fuel. There were times I was surrounded by doubt, times I was written off, times I was told it would be easier to stop, to back down, to accept the way things were. But something inside me wouldn't let go. I had a vision, something bigger than myself. And that purpose didn't always bring instant results. It didn't protect me from failure or loss, but it gave me direction when I felt lost. It gave me meaning when I was in pain. And most of all, it reminded me that I wasn't just surviving, I was building. So you don't need to have all the answers right now. You don't need to know exactly where you're going. You just need to ask yourself a simple question. What do I care about so deeply that it pulls me forward? Even when I'm tired, even when I'm broken. Maybe it's your family. Maybe it's your future. Maybe it's proving to yourself that you are more than your past. Whatever it is, hold on to it. Let it become the fire that burns through the fog. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It just has to be real. Something that means something to you. Because the world will try to distract you, to discourage you, to drown you in noise and comparison. You won't need approval. You won't chase shortcuts. You'll be grounded in something no one else can take from you. And if you haven't found your purpose yet, that's okay. This pain you're in, it might be pointing you toward it. Listen to it. Ask what it's teaching you. Sometimes the things that hurt us the most are what reveal our deepest calling. The struggle becomes the message. The wound becomes the reason. You're not here by accident. You're not broken without reason. There's something in you the world needs, something that hasn't been unlocked yet. And this moment, as painful as it is, might be the key. When you're down, when you're broken, when you're at your weakest, don't be surprised if the world laughs at you. Doubts will come not just from others, but from inside your own mind. People will call your dreams unrealistic. They'll say you're not strong enough, smart enough, or capable enough. And if you're not careful, you'll start believing them. But listen to me. Belief has to start with you. Not when you're winning, not when everyone's clapping, but when you're alone, questioning everything, with nothing left to hold on to except a quiet voice inside that says, don't quit. Self-belief is not loud. It's not flashy. It's not something you announce to the world. It's something you protect. You nurture it quietly in the dark when no one else sees the effort you're making. When the results aren't coming, when no one's cheering, that's when it matters most. Because the truth is, no one's going to hand you confidence. No one's going to convince you you're enough. That's your job. And it's not easy, but it's possible. You can't wait for the world to validate you. If I had waited for that, I would still be waiting. You have to be willing to look like a fool, to be underestimated, to walk into rooms where no one believes in you yet, and still stand tall, even when your hands are shaking, even when your voice cracks. That's real strength. See, belief doesn't mean you don't feel fear. It means you move anyway, you try anyway. You keep going even after you failed, and you will fail. That's part of the path. But failure doesn't mean you are meant for something great. It just means you're becoming the kind of person who can handle it. When people laugh at you, let them. When they say you'll never make it, let them speak. Their words don't define you, your actions do. And every time you choose to believe in yourself, especially when no one else does, you become unstoppable. You build a kind of inner strength that no amount of praise or rejection can touch. So if you're being doubted right now by the world, by your circumstances, even by yourself, good. That's the perfect place to start. Healing doesn't come in one big magical moment. It doesn't arrive like a lightning bolt. It happens slowly, step by step, day by day. And some days, it feels like nothing's changing. Like you're stuck in the same pain, the same thoughts, the same silence. But even then, if you're showing up even just a little, you're moving forward. Don't let the pace fool you. We're used to this idea that change has to be instant, that transformation should be quick, dramatic, noticeable. But real healing, real strength, that's built quietly, in the small decisions, in the moments when no one's watching, when you choose to get out of bed even though your heart is heavy, when you take a deep breath instead of giving in to anger, when you show kindness to yourself on a day when all you feel is regret. That's the work, and it counts. You don't climb out of a dark place by taking one big leap. You climb out by taking one small step over and over again until one day you look back and realize how far you've come, but you can't see it in the moment because the changes happening inside you are invisible at first. They're slow, but they're real. There were times I wanted to speed through the process. I thought if I just push harder, I'll feel better. If I just force it, I'll get there faster. But healing doesn't respond to force, it responds to patience, discipline, consistency. You can't fake your way through it, you have to live it. And that means doing the small, unglamorous things every day, even when you're tired of waiting for results. So if all you did today was get through it, if you didn't give up, even if you felt like it, then you're already making progress. Keep doing that. Keep stacking those little wins. Read a page, say a prayer, talk to someone, go for a walk, write down what you're feeling. You just have to keep moving. Your comeback doesn't start with applause. It starts with repetition, with discipline, with showing up for yourself even when you don't feel like it. One small step today, another tomorrow. That's how you rise. You might feel like your story is over, like too much has gone wrong, too much has been lost, and too many mistakes have been made for things to ever turn around. But let me tell you something, and hear me clearly. Your story is not finished, not even close. This chapter you're in, no matter how dark or painful, is not where it ends, it's where it changes. I've been in those moments where it felt like everything was collapsing, where I questioned the point of it all. And it's in those moments that something powerful begins to stir inside you. If you let it, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need to see the whole path. All you need to believe is that this isn't the end. You were broken so you could rise. You were shaken so you could wake up. This moment of pain is not punishment. It's a pivot, a turning point. And if you stay with it, if you don't give in to the voice that tells you it's over, you'll discover a version of yourself you never knew existed. Stronger, wiser, more resilient, more real. Sometimes we think the pain is here to break us, but what if it's here to reveal us, to strip away everything that isn't truly us, all the expectations, all the lies we've believed about our worth, all the fear. What's left after the breaking is the truth. And from that truth you rebuild, not the same version of you, but a new one, not just surviving, living fully. The people who rise from pain are never the same. They see differently, they move differently, because once you've been broken and survived, nothing scares you the same way. You carry a quiet strength. And here's the most powerful part. You don't rise just for yourself. You rise so you can reach back for someone else. So your story becomes a survival map for someone else who's drowning in the dark. Your scars won't make you less. They'll make you more. Because now you know what it means to fight for yourself, to believe when it would have been easier to give up, to rebuild when everything inside you screamed that it was over. That kind of strength can't be taught. It can only be earned. So if you're wondering whether you'll make it through this, yes, you will. And not only that, you'll come out of it with something powerful, proof that you can rise, that your story didn't end here, that your life still has purpose, still has impact, still has chapters left to write. The world hasn't seen the best of you yet. If you've been listening to this and feeling like the words are speaking directly to your soul, it's because deep down you already know the truth. You're not done. You're not broken beyond repair. You're being remade. The pain, the struggle, the silence, it's all part of a greater awakening inside you. One that doesn't just push you to survive, but calls you to rise. You've walked through darkness and you're still here. That alone is proof of your strength. And now, it's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. This is it. This is where the comeback begins. Not when the world believes in you, but when you do. Not when everything is fixed, but when you decide to move forward anyway. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not your failures. You are the decision you make right now to rise, to rebuild, and to keep going. Your story isn't over. It's just getting started.